Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Damaris, also known as Damaris Dash, a bit weird.
And we're glad to have you today. And hopefully you can't hear that noise. I think it always sounds worse to us than it actually ends up sounding on the video. If it gets worse, we'll close it. The windows, that is. Today is Wednesday, the 25th of June, 2014, and this is episode 95. 5 to go to that magic 100. It'll probably be, when did I figure out it was going to be beginning of August?
I don't know.
Because we'll take a week off when we go to London. I think it's going to be beginning of August. So, and our podiversary, our second podiversary is also in August. So maybe we'll just have a big party. Yeah? Well, we'd like to say a big welcome back to all of our returning viewers. We love you. You rock. And a big hello to any new viewers. Thanks for checking us out. We hope you enjoy the show. We have some new members in our group on Ravelry who have introduced themselves this week, so we want to give them a shout out. So Damaris, shout out.
Celestia22, who is Tanya from Ontario, Canada. Deb R is UK, or Debris.
I don't know. Sorry for butchering it.
Deb from Hertfordshire, UK.
Mm-hmm.
And Tara Knits, who is Terry, who grew up in Lincoln, Nebraska, is in Plano, Texas.
She's stuck there, she said. We had a little discussion about Texas. So, thanks for joining the group and for introducing yourselves. If you have not joined our Ravelry group, why not? You should go do that. Pause and go do that. Geeky Girls Knit Podcast. And then after you do that, find the introductions thread and introduce yourself, and we'll give you a shout out on the next episode. Yeah? Alright, well, we have quite a bit to talk about today. Some announcements at the end of the podcast, so make sure you stick around for the announcements. And with that, I think we're ready to get started. Alright, here we go.
Now we're going to talk about what's on our needles.
So, Mare, what is on your needles? Ooh, what is this?
This is the Delancey cardigan by Alexis Winslow.
That was the inside that you showed us?
Yes. The yarn is King Cole Merino Blend DK in the slate blue and bark colorways.
Yes.
And the needles are US 9s, 5.5
Mm-hmm.
millimeters.
Yeah. Okay, so what did you accomplish this week?
Bottom border.
You finished the sleeve too? I don't think you had the sleeve totally finished last week, did you? I think you had a few rows left. So you
I don't remember which one it was.
I don't either. So you finished the second sleeve,
Mm-hmm.
and you picked up all the stitches along the bottom and did the bottom border.
Yes.
And then yesterday you picked up
Almost.
3 zillion stitches.
Almost all the stitches for the button band and collar.
Yeah, so you just have a few left to pick up there, and then just have to do that to knit the button band and collar, and then we'll be ready for blocking, and then the grosgrain ribbon and buttons. Yeah? Okay, anything else you want to say about that?
Nope.
I'm hoping you'll have it done by next week?
Yep.
That's the plan. We may not have the buttons attached, but hopefully the knitting will all be done by next week. Do you have anything else on your needles?
No,
But-
I have spinning.
Okay.
This is 100 grams of merino, black diamond bamboo, and tri-lobal nylon from Countess Ablaze in the Nightmare colorway. I didn't get a lot done on it.
Yeah, you were focusing on your sweater. But this is are you 2-plying this or 3-plying? 2-plying. So this is the second half of the 100 grams.
Yes.
Okay. It's going to be lovely. Any thoughts on what you might do with it?
No.
No? Okay. Alrighty, anything else on your needles and spindles?
No.
Alright. Alright, so let's talk about what's on my needles and spindles. I have a couple of things. So the first thing is some leftovers socks, a leftover pair of socks for Genevieve, who is a little friend of ours, who loves to watch the podcast. So I'm doing these on US 1.5 to 0.5 mil needles, and I'm using leftover sock wool from several projects. So the toe was in Regia, my first Regia in the, I think this one's the Sphingia colorway. And then I'm using also my first Regia in the Marco color, and then the Four Seasons Grundle Hot Socks print in the 519 colorway. And I'm just doing tube socks, and I'm doing an 8-row repeat 3-2-1-2 to make the colors just kind of blend together, because there is some of the darker blue that is in the 519 colorway that is also in the Marco. So you're not really seeing true stripes, it's just kind of blending the colors. And I'm just going to knit until I run out of yarn, because I just had a smidge left. But here's my hint for you. If you are striping 2 skeins of yarn for a pair of socks, once you knit far enough on the sock you have to be doing toe up, you can stick the ball of yarn that you're not currently knitting with inside the yarn while you're knitting with the other ball of yarn, and then it doesn't get tangled up. So I'm just carrying the yarn I'm not using currently inside, up the side, but by putting that ball I'm not using inside the sock, it doesn't get tangled with the current one that I'm knitting with. So there's a little tip for you. So this is the first one. I just cast it on yesterday, and I'm just doing just a tube sock. Then the other thing I have on my needles, OMG, I'm trying not to drop the balls of wool. Okay, so I am doing a Hitchhiker by Martina Bem. And it is actually going to be a stripy one, because y'all remember last week that I showed you this yarn. This is CJ Coho BFL top that is hand spun in the Liberty and Justice for All colorway. And, excuse me, my friend Vicky, who is Dragonfly7673 from the Dragonfly Source podcast, hand spun this for me. I won the fiber in as a prize, and she hand spun it for me. And I thought it would be lovely in a Hitchhiker, but I didn't have enough yardage. So at the yarn crawl this weekend, which we'll talk more about in Yummies, I bought this skein of yarn. It's a little darker in person. This is Brigantia Luxury Yarn Double Knit in the 8100 colorway. I think it's like a mustard yellow is what I kind of would call it. And I'm using US 5's 3.75 mil needles, and here it is so far. Oh, how about those stripes? I love it. I especially love the kind of yellows where it's blending really well with the mustard, and it's hard to tell the stripes, but I love the more variegated up here too. I've done 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I finished 18 teeth so far. I don't know if I'll have enough yarn to get to the magic 42, but I'm just going to keep going until I run out of yarn. So I can't wait to wear this. I think this will be gorgeous for autumn. So thank you so much to Vicky for the hand spun. I'm loving them together. And then I have some spinning, which I actually did not get very much done on this week, because I was focusing on knitting, because I have several FOs to show y'all in the next segment. This is my mini Turkish spindle, and I'm spinning 50 grams of merino and miscellaneous stuff from the Border Tart. And this is what I have left from the 6th bump. I'm going to 3-ply this, so I'll finish spinning this with this, and then I have 3 more bumps of this to knit, to spin before I can 3-ply it. So I've just been focusing on other things this week. I did spin a little bit, but not very much. And that's everything, yes? All right, so we should move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about her finished projects.
Yes, so I have a few. So I finished 3 preemie hats this week, and the reason I have been knitting just 1 a week, but we are turning these in on Monday with our knitting group to be donated, and so I wanted to finish 14 total to donate with the group, and I knew we would not record again before these were due, so I went ahead and finished the last 3. So they're all from my top-down preemie hat pattern on Ravelry. It's a free pattern. There's 7 sizes total that you can choose from. I did it on US 6's 4 mil, and this is Woolcraft New Fashion Double Knitting in the Glacian Maroon colorway. So this is the 5th size. This is the 6th size, and that's the 7th size. And so, like, the rest of them are in a bag back here, but that makes 14 total to donate with the rest of the group. And then I'm just going to keep knitting them and just knit one a week, and then when I have a good substantial collection, we'll donate them to the hospital. So, using up leftover stuff from other projects. So, and then the other thing I finished this week is a pair of socks. So these are the Planum socks by Claire Devine. They're from her Sock Anatomy book. I did these on US 1.5's 2.5 mil, and this is Regia, my first Regia, in the 1816 Vinja colorway. The two things that I changed from the pattern is I did more stitches. I increased to a larger number of stitches so they'd be wide enough. And I did not put a heel in them, so they'll just be tube socks. But I love the detail of how you do the top. So after I knit all this, you do a ribbed portion here, and then you do a different ribbed portion here before you do the picot bind off. And then when you fold it over, by doing those two different ribbed sections, it helps it stay in place. It doesn't slip around. So those are also for Genevieve, and when I finish the other, the mix match ones that I'm currently working on, I will ship them off to her and hope she loves them. And that's it. That's all I finished this week. It was actually a lot, I guess. 4 things. So, all right. Well, I think we're ready to move on to the next segment. And now it's time for my favorite part of our show, Yummies. What are Yummies, Mare?
Yummies are our current favorite things, things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. All right, you want to start?
Sure. There was a new Guardians of the Galaxy trailer.
Yes. The UK version is the one that we linked. We link it in the show notes, so you can watch it. So this is the one that Karen Gillan from Gillan. I always say her name wrong. From Doctor Who is going to be in. I didn't even recognize her. She shaved her head and all that, and she's a different color. Blue. Yeah. But what did we also hear this week about Guardians of the Galaxy? Who's going to have a cameo?
Nathan Fillion.
We love Nathan, who is from Firefly and Castle. So apparently it's just a little small cameo, but that should be fun. So we're excited for that to come out. Next up, let's talk about the Indiebra Yarn Crawl. We had a lot of fun. We didn't go for the whole day, and we didn't go to all the shops, but we did pop into our local yarn store, which is Ginger Twist Studio, and I purchased the mustard yellow Brigantia that I showed you in the whip section. And I also purchased this West Yorkshire Spinner Signature 4-ply. And it's in the Owl colorway. And it is... I think it's 100 grams. It just says the meterage, 400 meters, 437 yards, so that must be 100 grams. And this is, for the hubs, he wants another pair of socks. So he was waiting outside the store because Jess's store is lovely, but it's tiny. And it was very crowded in there on Saturday. And so he was standing outside with my wheelchair while I was inside, while Damaris and I were inside, and I'm like, grabbed 3 different colorways of this and held it up and was like, pick one. Which one do you want? And this is the one he picked. So those will get cast on eventually. For now, it's going to go right up there. Jess also gave us little goodie bag type things. And so everybody got a button. And of course, pink and white. Damaris picked them out randomly out of the bag and got this for me. And it's also got a little pin on it for a brooch that you can connect, and then some of the lovely little stitch markers that I like, the locking ones. We also actually got these on Monday when we popped in, but we needed backing buttons for our sweaters, for our Delancey cardigans. So we picked up just these little kind of tan colored buttons to use as our backing buttons for our cardigans. While we were at the yarn crawl, we actually got to meet one of y'all. And so Carol, who is Kazi Nono, she lives close by to us, and we just hadn't had a chance to meet up yet, was able to come meet us at Jess's shop. She had won a prize in was it the Sweater KAL? I think it was the Sweater KAL. And so she met up to get her prize from us, but she also brought us a sweet present. Actually, sweet presents. Aren't they lovely? They are notebooks. And I love notebooks that have the spiral thingy because you can lay them flat, you know, when you open them. And so now I'm like, oh, I got to think of something special to put in this notebook. Because it's so much fun because it's a police box. And it has it on the back too. So thank you so much, Carol. It was lovely to meet you, and we will have to get together again soon and sit down for tea and a good visit. Yeah? All right. We also met another one of y'all this week. On Monday night at our knitting group, Dory, who is Ryder Darling, met up with us. For a very short visit. It had been a really long day because I'd been at the pain clinic that day. But we visited for a little while. She was here in Edinburgh with a group of people for an event, and she was able to pop in and visit with us. So we got to chat with her for a little while, and so it was lovely to meet you too, Dory. So it was fun to be able to meet up with people. And then I won prizes. Well, I'd already won them. They just got delivered this week. So, from Chain of Fools, who is Emily of the Fiber Town podcast, I got one of her badges to put on my Sarah Jane back there. I also got, this is from A Little Teapot Designs, this lovely necklace. It was part of the prize package from Emily. And actually what I did, these necklaces they're short ones, so when you put it on, it's like really, really short, and that's not my preference. So what I did was I just connected all three of them together, because they just have the little things like that. And then I wear it double looped around my neck, and it's much more comfortable. But it is fiber that has been core spun around the necklace. Isn't that awesome? So, I've worn it several times since it has arrived and gotten lovely comments on it. I think it's just fun, and it's so many different colors that I can wear it with pretty much anything. I also got, this was also made by the same A Little Teapot Designs. Oh, let me show you her Etsy shop. This was also part of the prize from Emily. A lotion, I didn't realize it until it got here, that the lotion, hold down, is actually shaped like a sheep. That's why it's called a lotion. And I waited to use this, because it arrived like the day after we recorded last week. I didn't use it so that I could show you before I used it. So, thank you so much to Emily for this lovely prize, and to A Little Teapot Designs for donating them. And I love them. So, Damaris, how's Stash Shush going for you?
I still haven't finished anything else.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so your sweater, though, is going to be. So, how many skeins of yarn do you have left? Are you on your last skeins of them all, of both of colors?
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember how many skeins we bought for you. Because I think we bought 17 for me, and I used a full 15 plus a little bit out of the other two. But you didn't need as much yardage. So, but it's going to be great yardage once you get it completely done and we add it in. So, I'm making progress still. I am up to 3,435 meters. So I have 1,565 meters to go. So that means I am almost 69% done. So, making progress on that. So, if you have no clue what we're talking about, we've got it linked in the show notes. It's hashtag Stash Dash 2014 that is hosted by the Knit Girls, and it is a challenge to complete 5,000 meters of yarn during the summer. So that's what we're doing. GGK Crafty Pad. This is our photo challenge that we do every month. The theme for June has been summertime and the living is easy, to go with our cow. And so we're going to show you some photos. But also, we finished the July list, and we didn't really do a theme in July. We just kind of did some summertime words, some crafting words, just some fun words. So we're going to put the July prompts list up here for you as well, so you can see it. It's also linked in the show notes, so that you can join us in on the fun. So Damaris, tell them what they're about to see.
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
So here come the hashtag GGK Crafty Pad pics. So those were our favorite photos this week. It's never too late to join. Just look at the prompts list, find the word for that day, take a picture, post it to Instagram with hashtag GGK Crafty Pad, and we will pick our favorites every week before we record. Damaris, where else can they post them?
Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah, but we do pick our favorites from Instagram. Okay. And then upcoming events, Monday nights we go to our weekly knitting group, the Town Mass Knitting Club. If you're ever in the Edinburgh area, we'd love for you to join us. We're there most every Monday night. We occasionally miss, but most Monday nights we're there. And then coming up in just a couple of weeks, we're so excited, we'll be going to London and ending our trip with Unwind Brighton. On Saturday, July the 12th, we will be at the Podcaster Meetup at 1 p.m. in the mezzanine, which is upstairs of the cafe in the Corn Exchange. And we are looking forward to meeting fellow podcasters as well as viewers. So if you're going to be there, come meet up with us at 1. We will have badges and business cards and fun things like that. And I know there's some other things brewing for the Podcaster Meetup, so we'd love to meet up with you. Also, if you're in London and won't be at Unwind Brighton and would like to meet up with us, we're not going to be there for very long, but and we have some things already planned, but we would love to try to meet up with you if we can. So let us know. Just send me a PM on Ravelry to Java Pearl. All right, I think that's all the yummies. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
To talk about what we're reading and watching.
So what are you reading, Mare?
Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen.
Okay. How's it going?
Good.
You enjoying it?
Yes.
You're reading something else, though, and we didn't put it in the show notes. Or have you started it? Oh, you haven't started it yet. Okay, never mind. Just let me know when you start it, and we'll put it in the show notes. I'm glad you're enjoying Pride and Prejudice. I'm reading a few things, because I can't just do one book. I read a lot at the same time. So I'm still reading I Thought It Was Just Me, But It Isn't by Brene Brown. And I think I only have 2 chapters left. I think I'm at around 75% or so when I was reading last night. I'm also reading The Dresden Files by Jim Butcher. So I finished reading book 4, which was Summer Night. And I started book 5, which is Death Masks, and I'm really enjoying those. And then I also finished reading Written in My Own Heart's Blood, which was book 8 of the Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon. Not child friendly. children, no, don't let the kids read it. Damaris is not reading it. Yeah. And I think that's everything that we're reading. Now, I think we're ready to talk about the TV. So the Hubs and I are still watching The Mentalist. We're on season 4. We actually only have just the season finale of season 4 left, because we watched the penultimate of season 4 last night. So, we're enjoying that. So we need to watch the season finale of season 4, and then there's seasons 5 and season 6. And then we'll be caught up, and they're doing a new season in the fall, so season 7 coming up in the fall. You want to talk about the next one?
We're watching season 7 of House.
And it's crazy. He's kind of gone off the deep end. Yeah. Craziness. Anything else you want to say about House? No. Okay, I'm watching Agatha Christie's Poirot. I finished watching series 10 and I started series 11. I'm also watching Deadwood season 2. That's not child friendly. Don't let your children watch it. The Hubs and I are watching Continuum. So we watched the season 3 finale this week, which was called Last Minute. It did wrap up a little bit of stuff, but I am still confused because of all the multiple timelines, and so it's just really confusing my brain. But they thought they had saved the future and then figured out that they didn't, and then at the end all these robots from the future came to present day. It was very strange. I don't know if it's been picked up for season 4 yet or not. It's a Canadian show. Last I looked, there hadn't been an announcement about it, so we will see. We've also been watching movies.
Yes.
We love movies. So, you want to start with the first one?
While you were sleeping.
Yes. Oh, I love that movie. With Sandra Bullock. Had you seen that one before? No. We love rom-coms. You want to talk about the next one, or you want me to? We watched Sleepless in Seattle, another rom-com, with Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. Love that movie. It's so good. So good. Because it totally references An Affair to Remember. Have you seen that one?
No.
Oh, that's got to go on the list. It's an older one. And they meet on the top of the Empire State Building. I think we have more movies than we actually have hours in the summer to watch on our list. We watched Big Business. I was kind of iffy on it. I don't think I had seen it before. I know you hadn't. Somebody recommended it in the group. I mean, it was okay. It was just not my favorite. So, yesterday, you want to talk about it or you want me to? We watched Dirty Dancing. I had seen zillions of times. Damaris had never seen. The time of my life. I never felt this way before. Yes, I swear. It's the truth.
Okay.
It's a great movie. And then you want to talk about the next one?
We watched the 2004 Phantom of the Opera.
With Gerard Butler in it. And I don't remember what the girl's name was.
Amy Rosen.
Yeah. The Phantom of the Opera is here. That's a good movie. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun. Yeah. Okay, and then we are still watching the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah. So, what did we watch this week, Damaris?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 4 through 7.
Okay.
And Thor: The Dark World.
Which we had not seen before. OMG. What do you want to say about it?
Whoa.
Is that all you want to say about it?
Whoa. You want to have a rousing conversation about truth, justice? God bless America.
Yes. That was the cameo of Chris Evans as Captain America.
It was an illusion.
Yes. That Loki.
They've been Loki'd again.
Oh. I really thought he was dead.
I thought he wasn't dead. I didn't know.
And the Hubs thought he wasn't dead, but I thought he was dead.
But now Thor's staying on Earth.
But what did he do to his father? Did he kill him?
No one knows.
And Thor will return.
It didn't say anything else. It didn't say in Avengers Age of Ultron. It just said Thor will return. But he's going to be in Avengers Age
Age of Ultron?
Blah, blah, yeah.
Okay, and then we watched something else too. After that.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
8, which actually made sense now. Because we watched it before without having watched Thor, so. Alright, and that's everything.
Can you just skip it?
No. That's everything we watched this week. So I think we're ready for the next segment. And now it's time to talk about summertime and the living is easy. Cal. So, this Cal runs from June the 1st through August 31st. You cannot have begun the project before June 1st, and you have to finish it by August 31st. And it is for any project that you knit, crochet, weave, spin, etc. that you can convince us relates to summertime. Which is very easy to do. If you can't figure out a way, watch previous podcasts because we gave you a very easy way to do it. But I love the ones that are more complicated and they explain it all to us and it's quite funny. And we will have prizes. 3 prizes we know of so far. We'll see if we have more. Probably. We've got quite a few finished projects thus far and we're not even to the end of June yet. So, Maris, why don't you tell us who has finished projects this week?
Engineers Falcon, Angie's Hip ×2,
Mm-hmm.
Heather JH18,
Mm-hmm.
Nina Crazy for Crochet, Rosebob, Bibite,
Mm-hmm.
Celestia 22,
Mm-hmm.
Meddress,
Mm-hmm.
Lupinons Jacob ×3,
Mm-hmm.
Sun Daisy 920,
Mm-hmm.
Dragonfly 7673 ×4, Andy, and Wisconsin Knitter.
So great job, y'all. So keep posting those projects as you finish them. There's also a chatter thread if you want to talk about stuff, or you have questions, or you just want to encourage each other. That's great. That's what it's there for. When you post your projects on Ravelry, and if you post pictures on social media like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc., hashtag it with hashtag #GGKSummertime, and that's why we can all click on that and see all the projects. So keep going on those projects. Alright, I think we're ready for the next segment.
Now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, part of our show where you ask us things.
And we answer it. So, Mary, do you want to read this week's question?
Sure. MLA Love 1718, who is Amy from Ohio, asks, what is your favorite musical and favorite music group?
We've been thinking on this all week. Because when we do our show notes, we put them together the week before we record. So when okay, let me explain how this happens right quick. This has nothing to do with the question. So after we finish recording today, I will put the video together and get all the show notes ready on the website, on our blog website, for y'all to be able to look at once we go live. And once that's done, we take our show notes that Damaris and I share through Google Drive, and we get it ready for the following week's show so that we can put in stuff as the week happens, or we finish projects or whatever. And so we always know what the question is going to be for the following week for Ask the Geeky Girls. So we saw this a week ago and we're like, oh, okay, so what all are we going to talk about? Because we like music. So, musicals. Do you want to go first with your musical? Me? Okay. My absolute favorite musical, without a doubt, is White Christmas. I can sing the entire show to you. I don't think you want me to do that. And a close second is, in that same vein, is Irving Berlin's Holiday Inn. I like that musical too. So, those are my 2 absolute favorites. What is your new favorite?
Oh, I didn't say it was my new favorite.
I thought you said it was your...
I just really liked it.
Okay.
It's really good.
Okay.
I like White Christmas too.
Yeah.
And Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, that was good. Are there any other musicals you like?
So many.
I know. Sound of Music, love that one. We rewatched that a couple weeks ago.
Disney, those all count as musicals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hercules has got some awesome music.
Little Mermaid has lovely music. Beauty and the Beast has lovely music. I'm not going to be able to remember to link all these in the show notes. I'll link as many as I can remember. So yeah, we love musicals. Now, music groups. I took that to mean also like just individual singers, but also groups. So here is my list that I came up with while I was working on the show notes. Norah Jones. You like her too. The Civil Wars. Love them. Wish they would record another album together. Sarah Bareilles. Love her. Adele. She's awesome. Josh Groban. Watermark, which is a group that is actually no longer recording together under the Watermark name. It's a husband and wife duo, and they recorded for several years under the name Watermark, but now the husband is doing more production stuff in the music venue, and she is recording just under her own name, which is Christine Ockles. And then I also love Kristen Chenoweth. She's lovely. You have anything you want to add to that? Because I know you like most of those, if not all. Oh, you're forgetting your default who you listen to quite often. Frank? Sinatra. She listens to a lot of Frank Sinatra.
I only have one album.
Yes, but you have it on repeat, like, all the time.
No, I don't. I don't. I do not. I don't. I do not. No. 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 No.
She's not right, I'm right.
No.
Is there any other musical people you would like to mention that you don't currently play on repeat all the time like Frank Sinatra?
No, I don't do that. No.
Do you have anybody else you want to mention?
No.
No? So, that's the answer to your question.
No.
So thank you to Amy for your question. So, what should they do if they have a question for us?
Go to our Ask the Geek Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
So that I can tell you that she's wrong about what she's saying, that I'm right.
No.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No.
So I think we're ready to move on to the next segment.
No.
And I'm right. And we've come to the end of the show in which I'm right.
No.
So, some announcements. Just a reminder that we are co-captains with a lot of other podcasters on the Tour de Fleece Team Sasquatch. We'll be participating in that. It starts on Saturday, July the 5th and runs until Sunday, July the 27th. So there's a link in the show notes for the Team Sasquatch group, so you should go join and get on the team roster, and we are looking forward to that. Something else that I'm definitely participating in, I don't know if you've decided if you're going to participate or not, is actually running concurrent with Tour de Fleece as well. Which runs concurrent with Tour de France. All these things concurrently. This is something that was put together by Fresh Stitches. She is a crochet designer. She also knits as well, but I've been following her blog for a number of years, even though I don't crochet, because she just talks about, a lot of the time, about really great business techniques and just really great information, so I enjoy reading her blog even though I don't crochet. But she is hosting this year, during Tour de France, Tour de Loop, and it is for anyone who knits, crochets, tats, embroiders, anything that involves looping. You know, so you have loops of yarn when you're knitting, you have loops of yarn when you're crocheting, you have loops of thread when you are embroidering and tatting. So, and the challenge is to do 1 hour each day of your craft, with the rest days off. Of course, you know, I'll probably still go ahead and knit an hour or more, which is usually what happens, even on the rest days. I'm going to put a link in the show notes to the information about Tour de Loop, and I'll be joining in on that fun, and maybe you too. We'll be in London for part of that when we work on our Mind the Gap socks while we're traveling and all that. And then a reminder, I didn't get sock blockers to show you, that my Indiebra Yarn Crawl socks, this is the ones in the neon colorway, the ones in the actual Ginger's hand dye, what is it called, sheepish sock colorway? The base, the colorway was the Indiebra Yarn Crawl. Actually, the colorway sold out, but she still got the socks in that colorway in the shop. It did some really, really well at the Yarn Crawl and also on Ravelry. But the pattern is available as toe up and cuff down. You get both options in your pattern, and it's 64 stitch and 72 stitch. And through the end of June, whatever the last day of June is, I don't know, is it 30th? I don't know how many days are in June. At $23.59 GMT, you can get 15% off the pattern with the coupon code GGK Yarn Crawl. And we'll put that on the screen again to remind you. So definitely take advantage of that. It's been lovely to see this pattern knit up in all different kinds of yarn. And it's very easy to memorize. So that's why I chose it for the Yarn Crawl socks, because I wanted something that you would be able to knit while you were actually out on a yarn crawl or out doing something, and not have to focus a lot on the pattern because it's so easily to memorize. I think that's all the announcements for this week. Yeah. Okay, so why don't you tell them where they can find us online?
You can find us at geekygirlsknit.blogspot.com. There are links to everywhere else where we are online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
Etc. And with that, I think we will say goodbye, and we will talk to y'all next week. We hope you have a great rest of your week. Happy knitting. Yes? And I'm right.